What's up, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Down Once More. I'm your host, Matt, and we are kicking off September with a preview of what is coming to streaming sites and what is coming to theaters this month. Now, I just got back from a little over a week of vacation, some state fair time, a little bit of chaos, played around with some new videography, photography stuff. I will talk about that on next week's episode, as well as going through some kind of recaps of streaming things I've been picking up and a little bit more in depth on a few things that are coming out this month. Later on this month, Brad and I will be reviewing Better Man for our musical movie review since life happened and kind of kept that from happening in August. So that's the game plan, kind of looking at this month. I also have some interest. I'm looking at bringing in a couple other guests onto the pod to discuss some different things, kind of like what goes on behind the curtain of some theater productions and other just musical fans, lovers. So it's not just me talking to myself, and mix up the vibes a little bit. So let's get right into it. As always, when we're doing these kind of previews, we'll start off with Netflix, and I'm just going to go through some of the main things that stand out to me. This is by no means an exhaustive list of what's coming to all of these streaming sites. That would be just an hour of me reading out titles, and that's not fun for anyone. But some things that I really enjoy that are coming to Netflix on September 1st is the Eminem kind of biopic, not really though, 8 Mile, just a fantastic musical movie, has some great rap battles in it. Great movie. Then we got Andrew Garfield's Amazing Spider-Man 1 and 2. Billy Madison, one of my favorite Adam Sandler movies. Edge of Tomorrow, I've talked about it. It's been bouncing around streaming services here. Fantastic Emily Blunt and Tom Cruise sci-fi action movie. Seasons 1 through 4 of the lawyer comedy, Franklin and Bash, just a lot of fun. That's coming to Netflix, as well as Inside Man, a great heist drama with Denzel Washington and Clive Owen. The Land Before Time, if you're feeling nostalgia for childhood like me, the Land Before Time movies kind of raised me. Ducky, Littlefoot, Sarah, what's Sarah doing thrown there? I get it's short, Triceratops, it's clever, but it just sounds off. Liar Liar, one of the best Jim Carrey movies out there. Knocked Up, the Robert Downey Jr. and Jude Law Sherlock Holmes movies, both the first one and A Game of Shadows are coming out. The entire Shrek movies series is coming out. We're the Millers, Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, and that's just kind of the drops that happened. They're out now. They dropped on September 1st. On September 12th, a new rom-com comes out, The Wrong Paris. A woman goes on a dating show, thinks they're going over to Paris, France to find their love. It is Paris, I believe, Texas. Cowboy getting down dirty. Looks like just a fun rom-com movie everyone can enjoy. On September 17th, a new cooking competition called Next Gen Chef premieres. It's hosted by Olivia Colpo. It features 21 chefs who are all under 30. So looking at that next generation of chefs, no trailers have been released. Not really a ton of details on what this cooking competition show will look like. But cooking competition shows, I go through stages where I just binge watch Chopped, Cutthroat Kitchen, things like that. I never really watched Hell's Kitchen. That was never one for me. It was more the Food Network ones. But I really liked, was it Next Level Chef? That was on Fox, that Gordon Ramsay host with a couple other chefs. I really enjoyed that one. So we'll see what Next Gen Chef is like. On September 18th, a new series with Jason Bateman and Jude Law, Black Rabbit, comes out. Looks like a very thriller action drama with them, some family dynamics. It looks like you got some mob loan sharks. Looks like a good time. And then on September 25th, 2 Netflix originals, House of Guinness, which is a series from the creators of Peaky Blinders about the Guinness family over in Ireland with the beer. And just kind of some family political intrigue drama going on, kind of like Succession, but in Ireland and beer, and with a little bit more action. You got political unrest and civil unrest going on there. And then Wayward with Toni Collette. This looks like a kind of trippy horror thriller movie. It looks really intriguing from the trailer, so highly advise you check that out if you think this might be something you're interested in. If you're looking for something a little bit spooky to watch, this could be your pick. And I tend to go towards kind of like the psychological horror thriller. That's kind of my genre of horror that I lean into. So I'm really excited about this one coming out at the end of the month. And then on September 28th, just a good old classic, Heath Ledger giving an absolutely fantastic performance in 10 Things I Hate About You. Just a fantastic movie all around. And it is being turned into a musical. So nice little tie-in to the podcast for you there. All right, that'll do it for Netflix. So let's jump over to Apple TV Plus. On September 5th, premiering in theaters and on Apple TV Plus is Highest to Lowest. It's the newest Spike Lee movie with Denzel Washington in it. It features A$AP Rocky as well, Jeffrey Wright. Looks intriguing. It's been getting mixed reviews so far, but it seems like it has a killer soundtrack. It should be a lot of fun. Excited to check that one out. On September 17th, season 4 of The Morning Show premieres. I believe it's actually the final season as well. Could be wrong on that, so don't quote me. This is one I never really got into. It's one you see a mixed bag on reviews as well. Start out Steve Carell, Jennifer Aniston. I haven't been keeping up with everything on it. I think Steve Carell's no longer in it. It's mainly Jennifer Aniston and Reese Witherspoon. But good drama news series, sometimes hits a little too close to home from what I've heard. On September 24th, season 5 of the Gary Oldman series, Slow Horses, comes out, which I have heard is fantastic. Another one that's just fallen prey to too many things to watch. Just too much, spoiled for choice. First world problems. Too many good things to watch. I have not checked out Slow Horses yet, but I've heard nothing but good things about it. On September 26th, a new movie comes out with Brett Goldstein of Ted Lasso and Shrinking fame. All of You. It seems like there was a book and then a Netflix series called The One that was about, hey, you get your DNA tested and see who you're truly compatible with. This kind of plays on that premise, but it just doesn't get as thriller related as that series and book did. This is more just a romantic drama about two people who just are trying to find connection and dealing with that. And then the other series that comes out on September 26th is The Savant. Stars Jessica Chastain as someone who works for the government at getting in bed online with extremists, counter and terrorism groups, and tries to stop extremist events before they actually happen. It looks extremely intense. Also stars Pablo Schreiber in it. And so really interested in this series. It looks like Jessica Chastain from the trailer puts on a fantastic performance. This is one that could just feel too real for some people. Some of these shows and movies are that things that you could see actually happening in the world right now can be heavy to watch. So just bear that in mind. But it looks, if it's an Apple TV Plus show, the writing's going to be fantastic. The production value is going to be fantastic. It should be great. So I'm excited to check that out. Let's jump on over to Amazon Prime Video on September 1st. So out now, the Bourne series dropped. So great series of movies with Matt Damon, and then the Jeremy Renner one, which I think was the Bourne, I forget which one that one, Legacy, drops on Amazon Prime Video, as well as the fantastic movie Chef, highly recommend. September 3rd, another classic Jason Statham movie, one of the newer ones, Working Man, comes to Prime Video. Then on September 5th, Black Bag, Michael Fassbender movie, intrigue, spy movie. Haven't had the chance to check it out yet. It's been pending in my watch list. I bought it on digital when it came out, and it's just been sitting there because spoiled for choice, too many things to watch, haven't checked it out. But if you weren't dumb and bought it with no intention of watching it right away, you can now stream it for free on Prime Video if you own it. So there you go. On September 10th, a new series based on the book, The Girlfriend, comes out. Looks like I'm blanking on the words from it, but basically sexy action thriller. action, wrong word, sexy, dramatic thriller with a lot of random stuff going on in that. Looks intriguing and intense. Robin Wright also stars in that. On September 12th, the Jack Quaid movie Novocaine comes to streaming on Prime Video. Another one that I got in digital with the intentions to watch, still haven't gotten to, but you can stream that for free on Prime Video on the 12th. September 17th, the Boys spinoff Gen V season 2 premieres. Now, one of the cast members lost his life and is no longer with us, so it'll be interesting to see how they kind of wrote that character off, because they said they weren't recasting him. So it'll be interesting to see how they handle that. I really enjoyed the first season of Gen V, a little bit different take. That world of the Boys, just superheroes are all dicks and very hyper violent, very intense, just over the top, kind of goes for shock value sometimes. That can be to its detriment, but overall, really enjoyed the Boys series and really enjoyed season 1 of Gen V, so I'm excited for season 2. On September 19th, the consensus was it was panned. Love Hurts, the Ke Huy Quan and Ariana DeBose action comedy comes out to Prime Video. This is one, the trailers I was intrigued by. It looked like kind of a mashup of Nobody and, I don't know, just the Mr. and Mrs. Smith, a little bit of vibes in there. And so we'll see what happens. I'll probably check it out now that it's free. This was not one that I spent money on. I thought wisely on that one. On September 24th, a new series, Hotel Costillera, comes out. This one looks very intriguing to me, kind of about a fixer working for this hotel to kind of make problems go away. Some things go awry. Looks like a good time, a fun action. Got a little bit of comedy thrown in there. I talked about this on an episode a while back. It seems like no matter what it is, every show, movie is trying to bring in that comedy feature, that comedy aspect. You don't get as many straight dramas or straight action movies anymore. Even the horrors, you're seeing a lot more blending of those genres too, for better or worse. And then on September 26th, if you have not checked out the hit, I believe, NBC series, The Good Place with Kristen Bell, Jamila Jamil, Manny Jacinto, you can check, and Ted Danson. The full series of that drops on September 26th. Let's hop on over to HBO Max. Not a ton here. On September 1st, two of my favorite kind of horror thriller movies in general came out, and that's Seven, Brad Pitt, Morgan Freeman, and then The Cabin in the Woods. This is one that I feel like it is a great example of kind of genre matching that works well for me. A very mixed bag on how people felt. Chris Hemsworth in it. I really enjoyed it, and I'm about due for a rewatch. But if you haven't watched it, I recommend you check it out. On September 5th, the Paul Rudd movie Friendship comes out. And Paul Rudd, Tim Robinson. I've heard mixed things. I've heard it feels like a very extended I Think You Should Leave sketch. So if you weren't a fan of that and Tim Robinson's brand of comedy, the kind of awkward, uncomfortable type, this may not be the movie for you. But so I've held off on purchasing it, and I'm excited to check it out when it hits HBO Max later this week. On September 7th, a new series Task comes out with Mark Ruffalo. This is one that looks like a crime drama, looks really good and intense, so I'm excited to check this one out. On September 12th, the Alex Garland movie Warfare drops on HBO Max, so I'm excited to watch that one as well. I heard really good things about that one in theaters. And then something a little bit different, the final thing that I'll highlight on HBO Max is Aztec Batman Clash of Empires. Animated movie drops on September 18th. Let's jump on over to Hulu now. So released on September 1st, so out now, you can watch the 2023 movie Evil Dead Rise, kind of the newest entry in that franchise. A different take on it that I feel like works better as a standalone movie than kind of in the Evil Dead franchise. They tie it to the soft reboot a little bit, not too heavily. It's more of a gory, over-the-top horror movie there. The 40-Year-Old Virgin, classic Steve Carell comedy. Invincible, Mark Wahlberg, true story, walks on to the Philadelphia Eagles. Kingsman, The Secret Service, one of my favorite movies of the past. It's probably been 15 plus years since it came out now. but really enjoy it. That's another one that blends the spy action comedy world and meshes them very, very well, and has just one of my favorite action sequences of all time in it. The original Mean Girls movie, some really schlocky, over-the-top shark movie, The Meg, the first and second one come out. Mrs. Doubtfire, if you're looking for a classic Robin Williams comedy. The original Space Jam. The School of Rock just turned into a Broadway musical, but this is what I feel like is Jack Black at his peak with School of Rock. Trap, talked about it before, just a great M. Night Shyamalan kind of mystery drama thriller. Really enjoyed it. At the end, it fell off a little bit for me, but the premise, a lot of fun, really well done. And World War Z, the Brad Pitt zombie movie. On September 5th, you have Oh Brother, Where Art Thou? And There's Something About Mary, a couple classics dropping. On September 9th, Season 5 premiere of Only Murders in the Building, Selena Gomez, Steve Martin, Martin Short series comes out. On September 11th, The Shallows comes to Hulu. I really enjoyed this Blake Lively shark movie, one of the better shark movies in a long time. I saw this one in theaters. I've watched it multiple times since. Really enjoyed it and how it was set up. September 12th, Drumline, just a fantastic movie with some just very impressive drumming in it. September 19th, Swiped comes out. This is a new movie premiere about kind of the creation of Tinder and how that spawned the creation of Bumble to combat some of the toxic stuff that was going on with Tinder. So I'm interested to see kind of peek behind the curtain on there and see how this movie turns out. It's got some good people cast in it, so we will see. On September 24th, a new Ethan Hawke series, FX Hulu series, The Lowdown, comes up. Looks like a really intriguing action mystery show. And Ethan Hawke is always great in what he's in. On September 25th, season 2 of The English Teacher comes out. I really enjoyed season 1 of it. As I was doing some research for tonight, it seems like there have been some allegations about the show creator and the main star in it since season 1 premiered. So I'm not sure. It seems like nothing's been proven. There's still just allegations at this point. But that kind of casts a shadow on it, which is disappointing. So do with that as you will if you choose to watch or not. And then a Nicolas Cage movie, which is action, violent, kind of a little bit revenge drama, The Surfer, comes out on the 25th as well. And then closing out the month on September 30th, Chad Powers comes out. This stars Glenn Powell. It's kind of created by Eli and Peyton Manning based on kind of a skit that Eli Manning did. But Glenn Powell plays a college football player who kind of failed in the big show. He took his showboating, his personality, caused the team to lose the championship, and so he kind of fell off after college. So he thinks he's not done with football. He says he's going to Mrs. Doubtfire it. Prosthetics, makeup, wig, tries to go undercover and walk onto a football team again. So looks interesting. I think it'll be kind of cheesy, but should be entertaining overall. And I'm signing up for almost anything Glenn Powell's in. And as Steve Zahn, you can't go wrong with Steve Zahn. Over on Disney Plus, just two things I want to call out on September 3rd. So when this is coming out, the live action Lilo and Stitch movie drops. I've never even seen the animated movie, so don't come at me. I will watch them both at some point. And then at the end of the month on September 24th, the season 1 of Marvel Zombies premieres. This was created after there was a Marvel Zombies episode of the animated Marvel series What If. They decided to turn it into an animated spin-off series of its own. We will see how it does. I heard What If kind of fell off. I fell off from watching it. And so I think people are just kind of burnt out with some of that, except the ones who are really dialed in. I haven't seen any talk about zombies in a long time, so we'll see how it holds up. I'm disappointed. I really wanted to watch and was excited for Eyes of Wakanda, and then it just dropped, and then I completely forgot about it, so I need to get on that. Over on Peacock, dropped on September 1st, some previous things, 21 and 22 Jump Street, just some fantastic comedies with Channing Tatum, Jonah Hill, 310 to Yuma, a fantastic action western, Christian Bale, 40-Year-Old Virgin, also coming to Peacock, Devil. I really enjoyed it for what it was. It takes place primarily in an elevator horror movie. I enjoyed it. The League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. It is a very not good movie, but a very interesting premise, and you can still have fun with it if you turn off your brain, about kind of these literary heroes and villains coming together. So you have, like, I'm trying to remember, you have I think it's Huck Finn is one of the ones that brings them together. You have Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. I forget who Sean Connery plays, someone from other literary, all these literary people pulled together, different eras. Very interesting premise. I need to give it a rewatch because I remember I used to watch it when it was on FX all the time. And so I'd watch it on TV in bits and pieces and then eventually watch the whole thing. Not very good, but has some fun moments in it. And like I said, turn your brain off. You'll have a good time. Zombieland. I really enjoyed the movie. Emma Stone, Woody Harrelson. Good time. September 4th, the spinoff of The Office, The Paper, drops. So I thought the first clip was okay. The trailer didn't do anything for me. I'm trying to be kind of, I'm going in with low expectations, but I'm still going to watch it. The full series drops on September 4th. The full season, I should say. It has Donald Gleason, which I like. Oscar Martinez is, well, Oscar is back. Oscar Nunez is back playing Oscar Martinez in it. His character from The Office. The premise is it's the documentary crew that followed the people who were filming at Dunder Mifflin to film at this newspaper company. So we'll see. Pretty low expectations, but I'm going to give it a shot. On September 5th, Brightburn drops. This was kind of produced by James Gunn, written by, I believe, his brothers. And it is basically what if when Superman came to Earth as a kid, he was a villain and wanted to just murder people. And that is what it explores. It is a horror movie, evil superhero kind of take. So on September 16th, Love Island Games premiere. So this is the second year they've done Love Island Games. This year, Ariana Madix is hosting, and they're introducing a voting element. I am very torn on this. I had talked about maybe doing a recap of the Love Island Season 7 reunion, but I am so over this cast. I watched the reunion. I felt like it was a waste of time. I'm so annoyed with so many people, and then the other narratives and stuff that are coming out after the fact. I am so sick of the cast. I feel like it lost the plot this season. I will most likely give Love Island Games a shot since it's a once a week commitment and go from there. But the less cast members we have from this season, the better. And I really hope for next season we look at, they're probably not going to change anything up because they had such high ratings and so much going on with it this year. But if we go back to less kind of influencers and do something with that money prize, because especially with Brian and Amaya splitting up now, I've lost the plot. I'm kind of over it, but I will give Love Island Games a shot at least for 1 week and see what happens. And then on September 19th, horror movie Abigail drops. Now, our last streaming thing is Paramount Plus. We'll hop over there. On September 1st, they dropped the first three, the original Blade movies with Wesley Snipes. Disturbia, fantastic Shia LaBeouf thriller. This was one of my first kind of thrillers that I actually watched. I really enjoyed it. It also blends kind of a comedy with very horrifying premise as well. Face Off, John Travolta and Nicolas Cage in ridiculous over-the-top roles. An action movie. Seven Psychopaths, a lot of fun. Kind of flies under the radar. I enjoyed it for what it was. Small Soldiers, another nostalgia classic one. And then, musical realm, we got Sweeney Todd, The Demon Barber of Fleet Street. So you can check that out. On September 4th, NCIS spinoff NCIS Tony and Ziva premieres. And then on September 21st, the new season, I think it's season 3 premiere of Tulsa King with Sylvester Stallone premieres on Paramount Plus. So that'll do it for the streaming sites. So let's jump over what's coming to theaters this month that I think could be worth your time. On September 5th, Hamilton is coming to theaters for the 10-year anniversary release. So you can check that out if you want to experience it on the big screen. Now is your time to do it this Friday. The Conjuring Last Rites premiere, so the final entry in the Conjuring franchise universe, supposedly. And then The Threesome, movie Deutsch, where, two women hook up, have a threesome, both women end up pregnant from that encounter. Drama, comedy, romance. That's what you're signing up for with that movie. On September 12th, so next week, The Long Walk premiere. It stars Mark Hamill, based on one of Stephen King's short stories about you walk for a number of days. If you fall behind, stop walking, you die. Spinal Tap 2, The End Continues. The second entry, I think it's about 30 years after the original one came out. A mockumentary on this fake band. I never watched the original. This is Spinal Tap, so I can't comment on that. But the trailer for Spinal Tap 2 got some laughs out of me, and I am intrigued. Also on September 12th, The Man in My Basement. Corey Hawkins, Willem Dafoe, based on novel. Seems like thriller, intriguing, kind of some mysticism elements in there as well. I am intrigued by this. On September 19th, Jordan Peele produced movie Him comes out. Football, horror, over the top. I don't know how to feel about this one yet based on the trailer. It looks like it could be gruesome, could be hard to watch at some points, but kind of about that premise of chasing greatness and being the GOAT, being him. A Big, Bold, Beautiful Journey. Margot Robbie, Colin Farrell in this romance. Kind of got some fantasy elements to it. You go through doors, you experience your memories in the past. Looks like it'll be a tearjerker, but Colin Farrell's been on a hot streak lately. Margot Robbie's been on a hot streak for a while as well. Could be interesting. And then also on the 19th is Adulthood. Josh Gad and Kayla Scodelario from Skins. They discover a dead body in their parents' house after their parents die. And so it looks like hijinks, ridiculousness ensues. Trailer got a few laughs after me. Could be worth checking out. Not sure if it'll be one to check out in theaters or wait till it comes out in streaming. They're already announcing it's coming out on streaming on like the 23rd. So they're giving it like 4 days in theaters before they release it on digital for you to rent or purchase. September 26th, the next Paul Thomas Anderson movie, One Battle After Another, stars Leonardo DiCaprio, Benicio del Toro, Sean Penn. A lot of stars packed in this one. Looks intriguing. And then also on the 26th is The Strangers Chapter 2, the next entry in that series. Trailer gave me the Rob Zombie Halloween 2 vibes. So that's not a good thing. But that kind of wraps it up of what's coming to streaming in theaters this month. If any of those pique your interest, feel free to check them out. Comment below if there's anything that you're really excited about this month that you feel like I missed. Stay tuned, like, comment, share, subscribe, all that fun stuff. Turn on notifications. We will be doing some more musical-centric things eventually. Bear with me. Like I said, vacation kind of threw off my schedule and some other life things kind of been throwing things off. Next week will be a little bit of fun. It'll be just chatting, like I said, a little bit vacation recap, things like that. So not really movie or musical focused, but I will talk a few shows I've been watching, some recaps of there. So as always, I do have time codes in the bottom. So if you're not interested in a certain subject, skip ahead. I won't be offended. But thank you for taking your time, listening, watching. Time lapse of the recording. I'm obsessed with doing time lapse videos now. Will be on the YouTube version after this, so check that out or head over to our TikTok. I've been posting the time lapses as kind of previews on there of what to expect. So subscribe to socials, all that fun stuff. Appreciate you all. Love you all. And don't forget to go down once more. Later.